In this video, we're going to focus on the opacity options in the Chart.JS plugin for the data labels. And with the opacity option, personally, you would probably not use this so much. And if you would like to use opacity, I would highly recommend a different way, but I will show you first what opacity does, and then what is the best solution for this if you really want to use this. So with the opacity, you can control what we call the alpha level or the transparency level of the data labels. Please note here that with opacity, you will not control a single item, but you will control the entire data labels here. And you will see that, so including the fonts, including the background, everything here. And if you don't want that, there are other ways to do that. So let me show you first what we're going to do here. First of all, we're going to set up an opacity, and you can see here in the options, the default of opacity is number 1. And will you use it often? Most likely you won't. However, number 1 means the alpha level is basically the transparency is 0, it's fully visible. So if you want to make it transparent, then in that case, the opacity level will go below the 1. And if you want it fully transparent, you put an opacity of 0. So it's like how many percentage it is. So opacity, and then here we can do it. Basically, default is 1, as you will see. Nothing happens. So the moment we put it on 0.5 means 50% visibility. So we save this and refresh. You can see now the opacity is starting to match very much with the background color here. But what's happening as well as the font is also going to create the exact same opacity or transparency level. So if you do 0, means 100% transparent, it will be not visible anymore, as you can see. While it is still there, it's just not visible. So this is basically not really a, this is basically if you do, let's say, 10% transparency or 90% transparency and 10% visibility, you can see here this. This is basically not a way to do it. So if you're planning to use opacity, but you want maybe, for example, the background color to be transparent, well, for that, there's another way to do it, which is, of course, here with the background color RGBA settings. So you can use these here. This would make far more sense where you say RGBA, you put in the colors, you put in here, and then you can say here, for example, the color as well. So let me get this here. And let's say here the background color would be a opacity color, and I'll make this a string. So right now this is not anymore hard coded, or we have the just here with the variable. Now it just will be a single color, but you will see here the transparency at the back. So if I refresh here, everything will be red because we just only get this single value here, but you see the transparency on this. However, the font is not being transparent. The font is just visible, and you will see it very clearly the moment we make the font black. If we give it a dark color or black, you see it's very solid. So there's no transparency on this. But if we do with the opacity here, 0.5, save that, you'll see now that the background color is, or sorry, the font color is adjusting itself as well. So that is why I would not recommend you to use opacity, but play around with the background color settings using the alpha level. This is basically the alpha value, where you can create, where you can control the opacity itself. This is a far more logical way to do it than using opacity in your settings. So let's undo everything, save this, but this is the most important part regarding to the opacity setting. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you enjoy this video, you probably will enjoy this one as well. And if you're interested in Chart.js, check out in the description box the link directing to my Chart.js course where you can learn everything about Chart.js. And finally, of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel.